Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nicole's Twist. Today I'm going to show you how to make a homemade chicken pot pie. I'm really excited to share this one with you because now you'll be able to see the full pie crust baked, and I'm going to let you know how it sounds. I can't wait for you guys to see this one. It is a perfect classic for the cool winter months that are before us. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share my video on my page with family or friends who you may think would benefit from my videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every single week, and let's get into it. And for this chicken pot pie, we are going to be using celery, carrots, mushrooms, a white onion, some garlic cloves, and a shallot. We're going to cut up the vegetables pretty fine. I used about 3 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, and about 8 mushrooms. We want to make sure we're cutting them equally just so they cook even in the pot and also when we put it inside of the pie to bake in the oven. And a good and safe trick for carrots, make sure to cut them in half before you start to chop them or slice them, just so the carrots aren't rolling around and it lessens the chances of you getting injured. And if you guys want to see a tutorial on chopping specifically and cutting vegetables and fruits, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to do a tutorial for you guys. And for the white onion, we're going to cut it in half, slice it, and then we're going to chop it and mince it as fine as we can. I want to make sure that there is a nice amount of onions throughout the entire chicken pot pie. And now cutting up my favorite vegetable in the kitchen, a shallot. If you haven't tried this before, I really recommend that you find it in your local grocery store and place it inside next to some onions and garlic and whatever you're making. It really elevates the dish. And today I'm actually going a little light on the garlic. We're using 3 cloves. Of course, you can always alter how much garlic you place inside your recipes here on my channel. It's your kitchen, do what you'd like. But today I thought I'd just go a little light since I'm using so many onions and shallots today. And the final vegetable are the mushrooms. So again, for food safety, you want to make sure that you're cutting the mushroom in half and then you're slicing the half of the mushrooms by themselves. Again, because they can roll around, you want to make sure you're lessening the chances of you getting injured when you're slicing up your mushrooms. And I love using mushrooms inside of the chicken pot pie because it provides a lot of moisture and texture to the pot pie. And we're going to slice these up and then we're going to get them ready for the pot. Large Dutch oven over medium heat, you'll saute and melt 4 tablespoons of butter. This is going to help later on to make the roux. And first we're adding in the onions, garlic, and shallots. We want to make sure we sweat those down first to make sure we get the most flavor. And you'll see that it creates a lot of bits of deliciousness on the bottom of the Dutch oven, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We're going to stir those up, and this will go for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how high your heat is. And now I'm adding in salt, pepper, and also some Better Than Bouillon vegetable bouillon. I loved using this. It added some extra salt so I didn't have to add so much. And I'm also adding in some garlic powder. And now it's time to add in those mushrooms. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, this provides a lot of moisture. They do release a lot of water, so this is really great for when we start to make the roux. It's going to make the sauce even thicker, so it's not going to be so watery when we place it in the oven. And we're going to allow all of those vegetables to just sweat together. I did add a little bit more butter just because I didn't want to use any olive oil for this recipe. I wanted everything to be really savory. And now we're going to go in with some extra seasonings. I'm adding in some paprika. I'm adding in the rest of that onion powder that I had, red pepper flakes, and dried parsley. We're going to stir that together. And look how beautiful that color is becoming. I just absolutely love it. And you want to make sure that your mixture is well seasoned at this point. We are adding in those carrots and the rest of that celery. And we'll mix that together. And we're going to leave this and let it sit for about 5 minutes. We want to soften up those vegetables as much as we can, but not making them mushy. We want to still have a bite to them. And I also did add in a little bit more butter as well. I added in a little bit more salt and some more garlic powder. And now it's time to get to the roux. And we're going to put in 1/4 a cup of flour. And we're going to stir this together constantly for 2 minutes. We want to make sure we get that raw flavor of the flour out and also kill any bacteria that can be in the raw flour as well. Now that the flour is cooked down, I'm adding in 2 cups of chicken stock. We're going to stir this together until it's combined. And for a little bit of creaminess, I'll be adding in 4 ounces of whole milk. This is going to lighten up the sauce, make it super creamy and decadent, and it's going to just make it perfect. And then also for our final vegetable, I'm adding in a bag of frozen peas. I love how the frozen peas give everything a little bit of bite, and it also provides great color. And now we're just going to put the top on and let this go for about 15 to 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, here is the pot pie filling. It is creamy and thick and it has lightened a lot. And I did roast my own chicken. I shredded it and now I'm placing it inside of the filling. We're going to stir this together and taste just to make sure it's perfect before we put it inside of the crust. And we are going to take off the heat and we're going to let this cool down. Now it's time to roll out the pie crust. Look how much butter is in that. It is so flaky and delicious when it is baked. So I'm actually going to post up the pie crust video that I did a few weeks ago. It is the pie crust, just take out the sugar. Of course, we don't want to have a sweet pie crust with our chicken pot pie, so it does make it more savory. And as you can see, I was having a bit of trouble when I was rolling out this pie crust this time. So we have to keep in mind, I live in California, so depending on the temperature of the room, the temperature of the table, it really does make a difference because the butter can melt fairly quickly and it can become tough to roll out, but I was successful. And I did also butter that pan to the side to make sure it didn't stick as well. And the second rollout was much cleaner. So we're going to roll out from each side, making sure it is as round as possible. And when I do see it starts to break a lot, I like to just push it together into a ball, warm it up a bit, place some more flour, and then we'll roll it out. Much easier this time. And we want to make sure it's a bit larger than the actual pot that it's going to be in, just so we can create a nice little edge and it becomes super flaky when it bakes. And now that the pie crust is rolled out, I'm going to flour that rolling pin, roll up the dough, and leave it to the side. And look how gorgeous that filling is. Oh guys, I can't wait for you to see the finished product. So we're gonna fill this up actually a little bit higher than the top of the pan because it is going to drop a little bit when it's in the oven. I used almost all of it. And now we're putting in that delicious pie crust right on top. Look at all those pieces of butter inside of it. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to see. And we are going to cut in some vents on the top because we don't want it to pop in the oven. We want to make sure it can steam as well. And here's the finished product right out of the oven. I did cook this at 425 for 15 minutes and then drop the heat to 375 and cook for 45 or until it's browned. And guys, let's hear this crust. I let the chicken pot pie rest for about 20 minutes before I cut into it, just to make sure it can rest a bit. But y'all, this was so good and so flaky. Look how nice that crust is. And that filling though, oh man, you guys haven't had anything better. Forget the Marie calendars at the grocery store. You can make your own for super inexpensive. And look how delicious and easy it was to make. Anyone can do it. I really appreciate you guys tuning in every single week to watch my channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I have a really great following over there, and I would love for you to see all of my posts that I have and for any future videos so you guys can stay up to date. Thanks again so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Until then, have an awesome rest of the year, and I will see you soon. Bye!